Milo was not your ordinary mouse. With his tufted ears and speckled gray fur, he looked just like any other field mouse in the meadow. But Milo had a very peculiar habit. He could sleep longer, deeper, and more often than any creature in the world. Day or night, rain or shine, Milo could always be found curled up in a ball, snoring lightly, wrapped in the sweet comfort of his dreams. The other meadow creatures found Milo's sleepiness amusing. "He's always asleep," croaked Gertie the frog one sunny afternoon. "I bet he wouldn't wake up even if a thunderstorm rolled over the meadow." "He's got clouds in his head," barked Lester the fox. But Milo didn't mind. He didn't want to explain, not even to his best friend, Willow the sparrow. He simply slept through the chatter, dreaming of magic and wonders no creature had ever known. One day, something rather unusual happened in the meadow. A golden ripple of light spread across the sky, shimmering like liquid sunlight. The animals stopped in their tracks, squinting and murmuring. Below them, the grass seemed to hum a tune as if the earth itself had come alive with music. Willow darted to Milo's sleeping spot under an old mushroom and chirped frantically. "Milo! Milo, wake up! Something strange is happening." Milo stirred, blinked his tiny black eyes, and yawned widely.
What's all the fuss about?
"Milo, it's magic. Something is happening to the meadow. Don't you feel the energy in the air?" Milo sniffed the air. It did smell different, like fresh honey with a hint of peppermint. Suddenly, amid the golden shimmer, a voice echoed across the meadow, sweet, melodic, and full of wonder. "The champion of dreams is needed. Who will answer the call?" The animals froze, exchanging bewildered looks. "Champion of dreams?" asked Gertie. "It's probably nonsense," Lester scoffed, though he flicked his tail nervously. Willow tilted her head at Milo. You're always dreaming, Milo. Maybe it's talking about you." "Me?" Milo asked, his ears perking up. "Champion of dreams? That sounds made up." Willow fluttered her wings. "You've always talked about how special your dreams are. What if this is the reason why? What if you're meant to do something incredible?" Milo scratched his head. He wasn't sure if he was brave or important enough to answer a call to adventure. But just then, the golden voice hummed again. "Who dares take the journey through the Dreamway? The champion must find the hidden heart of the meadow and bring it back to life." As Milo stood hesitantly, a swirl of golden dust rose from the ground and circled him. It tickled his fur and seemed to whisper to him. He didn't understand the words, but he felt a strange courage blooming in his chest, soft but steady. "I'll go," Milo said, surprising himself. Willow cheered while Gertie and Lester stared in shock. Within moments, the swirl of gold dust swirled faster, creating a shimmering path that stretched far beyond the edges of the meadow. Milo glanced back at Willow, who gave him an encouraging chirp, and then he stepped onto the glowing path. The Dreamway was unlike anything Milo could have imagined, even in his wildest dreams. The air was thick with glittering stars, and the ground felt soft, like walking on clouds. Strange plants grew in bursts of color, their leaves shimmering as if coated with dew made of diamonds. Milo felt small but curious, cautiously stepping forward. As he wandered deeper, he heard tiny whispers in the air, like secrets hiding just out of reach. "The champion must pass 3 tests," the voice declared. "Strength, courage, and heart." Milo gulped. Tests? He wasn't sure if he could pass any tests. He had never been very strong, he wasn't particularly brave, and he didn't think anyone would call him a hero. But he was already on this path, and there was no turning back now. The first test appeared in the form of a massive river. It stretched so wide and so long that Milo couldn't see the other side. Its waters sparkled like liquid gold, but the current was swift and wild. A shimmering dragonfly appeared beside him, buzzing gently. To cross, the champion must trust their strength. The river is fierce, but your heart is steady. Milo frowned. Strength? He didn't even think he had the strength to swim. But then he remembered the way he used to chase his dreams in his sleep, always managing to soar, leap, or climb despite his small size. Maybe it wasn't about physical strength. Maybe it was about believing in himself. Taking a deep breath, Milo jumped into the river. The current was strong, pulling at his tiny frame, but Milo kicked his legs steadily, moving forward inch by inch. The golden water sparkled around him, almost encouraging him to keep going. "I can do this," he whispered. "I can do this." Finally, exhausted but determined, Milo reached the other side. The dragonfly buzzed beside him. "Well done, champion." The second test was scarier. Milo found himself in a canyon filled with shadows. The air was cold, and strange sounds echoed from the dark pools scattered around him. The champion must show courage, the golden voice said. Fear is only an illusion. Milo's whiskers quivered as he stepped hesitantly into the canyon. Strange shapes moved in the shadows, monsters with glowing eyes and long claws. He wanted to turn back, but then he remembered Willow's words. What if you're meant to do something incredible? He took another step, and then another. The monsters roared, their shadows swelling around him, but Milo kept walking, holding on to the thought that courage wasn't about the absence of fear, it was about pushing forward despite it. The shadows began to shrink as Milo reached the center of the canyon. A soft golden ball of light appeared above him, whispering, "You have faced your fears, little mouse. You are stronger than you know." Milo smiled weakly, stepping out of the canyon. Only one test remained. At last, Milo reached a clearing surrounded by golden mist. In the center lay a beautiful, glowing flower, the heart of the meadow. But as Milo approached, the golden voice whispered somberly, "The champion must prove their heart. The flower lives only when touched with true kindness." Milo paused, thinking hard. What did kindness mean? He thought of Willow, who had always encouraged him. He thought of Gertie and Lester, who teased him, but never with malice. Milo realized kindness was about connection, about caring for others and the world around you. Gently, he stepped forward and touched the flower with his tiny paw. The world seemed to pause for a moment, and then the golden mist exploded into brilliance. Light danced through the clearing, spreading far beyond the Dreamway, touching every corner of the meadow. The golden voice whispered its last words. "The champion has restored the heart of the meadow." Milo blinked and found himself back under his mushroom, the meadow bursting with life around him. Flowers bloomed brighter, the grass sparkled, and the air hummed with energy. The other animals stared at him in awe. "You did it, Milo," Willow chirped. She flapped her wings and hugged him tightly. Gertie croaked, "Never thought you had it in you, sleepyhead." "You really were the champion," Lester admitted grudgingly. Milo smiled, curling back into his favorite sleeping position. "Maybe dreams are more important than we think," he said. And as he drifted off again, the meadow glowed around him, alive with the magic of his journey.